Hello and welcome to this green and pleasant land, what we who live here call Ingerland. And today is the 20th of March, and that means it's the first day of spring. So of course it's raining, but then it's the rain that makes us so verdant in this country. And if you're American, verdant means green. But before we start, let's see how the garden used to look. So it was only a year ago when we started planting out our exotic garden. And the problem with exotic gardens is not much really happens until June, July, when things really start to kick off and they're in flower and the plants look great. And you know, that's a few months away. But even today, we can have a look around and we can see certain things starting to emerge. So life is coming back to the garden. Let's go and have a look around. Of course, one of the first things you're going to see coming into flower are the early bulbs. We have a lovely little display of hyacinths that have just come out. Behind it, if you just see they've got a really nice fritillaria. Now that's a variegated form I particularly like, but it's not in flower yet, but you can see buds just starting to form on the top there. Now we've had a really cold winter where temperatures have gone down to about -7, -8, and yet I thought these were dead, but we've still got the foxtail lily, that's Aramis, and I've got a few still sprouting through, so these are survived, so I'm really pleased with that. So I've got one here and one over there, so really looking forward to these going out into full flower later on. We've got some nerines that we planted out last year. These have started coming into leaf. And the deciduous climbers, you know, this is an actinidia here, and this is really romping away, breaking bud and really getting going. Because it takes so long for exotic gardens to get going, I've been planting more and more specimens that do a show of flower early in the spring. And this is one of my favourite ones. This is Camellia Black Lace. It's just coming into flower, like I say, first day of spring, still an awful lot of bud. Just look at that, you can see that my way. It's such a gorgeous red, and that red actually gets deeper as these later buds open. And for the very same reason, to try and get some nice early flower, I planted some tree peonies, and you can see it's broken bud, and I've got lovely flower heads, flower buds coming out now, and hoping these will get bigger and bigger and bigger, and then explode to a huge bloom. So I don't need you to tell me that this is an ugly fence, and what I'm trying to do is hide it with this Parthenocissus, and thank goodness this has survived, and this is also starting to break bud. So the cold winter has paid a heavy price on the old tree ferns. There's very little foliage left that's actually viable, but the most important thing is there any life in here? So let me just put my hand in, and hopefully I'm not breaking bits off, but do you know what, you can't see them, but I can feel that there's some nodules in there. So I'm hoping once the weather warms up that these will start to grow, and I have the first fronds sort of emerging in the next couple of weeks. So this is part of one of the main beds. There's a bluegrass whose name escapes me starting to come through that. I've got a little oriental poppy that's come here. I've got a little daylily that's come here. Now these are the stems of last year's magnificent banana that got blown over in the winds. But I'm hoping, you know, I know it's soft on the outside, but I can feel something tough in it. So with luck, this stem has survived inside over the winter and will shoot out again soon. If not, and if that is dead, then I should get some new babies coming through the base, but time will tell. Anyway, that's kind of it for really what's happening now. It's still very early, the tree isn't in bud yet, not much else has happened, you know, so apart from bulbs, leaf breaker, deciduous stuff, still waiting for something to happen. So first day of spring for an exotic garden, yeah, not much happening. So give it another month, we'll have another look.